In movies and money, Disney intends to dominate the big screen this weekend with the release of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Here's an early look.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone. Have I not given everything?
Let's bring in film critic Erik Childress. Hello, Erik.
Hi, Angie.
What do you expect in terms of box office dollars from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever?
A lot of money, Angie, at least in the first couple of weekends, as we are likely looking at a record-breaking opening weekend for the month of November. And the first Black Panther opened in 2018 to over $200 million. Now Disney looks to lay claim to a sixth month where they will likely now own the top opening weekend. Will it get over $200 million, though? There's where I have some doubts. Now, as everyone knows, the world lost Chadwick Boseman to cancer, and so the series had to wrestle with the idea of recasting the role of King T'Challa or finding a way to deal with his death on screen. They chose the latter, and I wonder how audiences are going to respond to that decision. It entered this year in fifth until Top Gun Maverick knocked it back a spot this summer. But I think somewhere around $175 million this weekend seems right. Probably have enough to get itself over $400 million before it stalls out, as I believe word of mouth may be an issue this time.
That sounds like you are hinting that Wakanda Forever does not deliver, in your opinion.
Unfortunately, that is exactly what I'm saying, Angie, as I found this film to be a tremendous disappointment, especially given that the first is a top-tier Marvel entry. Now, this one starts off on a tricky but well-done note, directly addressing the death of King T'Challa. It puts us in an emotional mindset that we hope will translate into a nation that will then find a way to carry on with a new legacy. But Ryan Coogler and his writers missed so many opportunities, and it's not for a lack of time, as the film runs a lengthy 161 minutes, and you feel every minute of it. Multiple plot lines are dragged, some of which barely find conclusion. There's very little action, and the big climactic one seems to end before it can even fully draw our attention, especially after 2 hours worth of plotting. It does have a well-performed villain by Tenoch Huerta, which is an advancement for the MCU, but it's sad that he is the most memorable aspect of the film, which is really being led by multiple women of color. Now, watching Wakanda Forever, I could not escape the thought that everyone just could not commit themselves to crafting a story where the women fully took charge of this universe in a rousing, triumphant, and meaningful way. I think many people, especially younger viewers, will be bored with this entry. Older ones looking for something more emotionally and intellectually challenging in its story of rival nations pitted against each other while the powers of America's industrial military complex waits in the wings for the outcome, are not going to find it. And I think James Cameron is going to be laughing when people start making comparisons to Avatar and is thinking, just wait until my movie comes out next month.
One movie you say that does deliver is Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans, which you screened at the Toronto Film Festival. Can you give us a review on that one?
Of course, Angie. The Steven Spielberg semi-autobiographical The Fabelmans is opening in a limited release this weekend. It chronicles the young life of a boy who became enamored with the process of movie making after his parents, played by Paul Dano and Michelle Williams, take him to see the greatest show on earth. And what transpires is not only the growth of imagination in the boy and the shortcut techniques he would use to make westerns and war films in school, but how he would use this newfound art to bridge the understanding of the complicated relationship with his parents and their family friend, played by Seth Rogen. Now, that is the real heart of this story that is very much in its own right the origin story of the superhero of my youth, Steven Spielberg. I really cannot wait to see it again and for it to resonate with audiences in magnificent ways. As it will only be in a few theaters this weekend, we may not see it in the top 10 just yet, but it should very well have one of the highest per theater averages of the year until it opens wider just before Thanksgiving on November 23rd. Now, after the disappointing returns for his incredible West Side Story last December, I hope audiences will be back to discover Spielberg's magic on the big screen, and they will certainly be hearing a lot about it on its way to the Oscar podium next March.
Talking Oscars already about that film. Thank you very much, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.